What's going on, y'all? What's going on? The Cowboys get this dub. Give me a second, y'all. He could But yeah, man. Cowboys get this dub. And I'll have to say this. I will have to say this. Yeah, yeah. I keep it real on this one. I'll keep it real on this one. This was the best I've probably seen of the Cowboys probably this year. Not the Jets win, not the way that they played against the Philadelphia Eagles. I know we played the Commanders, but the Commanders, when it come down to on paper, they're not a bad team, but they just do bad team stuff, which makes you a bad team. Yes, sir. You too, T Dub. But I'm gonna be real, and the reason why this is why I tell you that the Cowboys probably look the best that they have all season because both sides play with physicality. Both sides play with physicality. I seen the difference. And when you seen both sides play with their physicality, this is what you got. You see, if the Reds, if well, I'm gonna probably keep calling them the Redskins. It just is what it is. But look, if that team, the Redskins, the Commanders, the only chance that they had to beat Dallas today was if they took it to them physically. And they didn't. But let's start with the defense this time first, right? Bland gets his pick six. Like what he doing is just it's very impressive. Can't lie. It's very impressive what Bland is doing. You know, with you, it don't matter who you're doing it on. It's just because if it was a quality of team or whatever the case may be, then everybody would be able to do it. But in order to do what he's doing, you have to have that type of skill set. You have to have them type of eyes to be able to do that. And he's doing it, especially back to back weeks. Like, come on now. Come on. You know? So shout out to Bland on that. Right. So let me give a shout out to my D line, specifically my D tackles. But you can give it to the whole D line because the whole D line played with a level of physicality today, but especially the D tackles. Now, in our scouting report, we talked about the D tackles having probably one of the most important jobs this game, and they played excellent, especially Big Hank with 2 sacks. They played excellent. They pushed the pocket. There was a force in the run game. Like they did their stuff. They did their thing today, right? And yeah, the offensive line ain't the best, but it doesn't matter though, right? Because everybody got some type of weak link on their offensive line or a couple weak links on their offensive line. Ain't nobody just got like this 5 Hall of Famers, 5 Pro Bowlers other than the Dallas Cowboys, right? But they met and they matched it and they dominated up front when it came down to being physical. They dominated that. And so I gotta give a shout out to them deep tackles. The linebackers, you know, there was some chunk run. There was some holes. Yeah, there was some holes, but it was a whole lot better. I seen Damone Clark a whole lot better with his eyes today from what I've seen off of the live from watching it live. His eyes was better, especially that play when they was driving and he made that tackle for loss on that screen. Because if he didn't make that play, there was some room there for that running back to go ahead and do their thing. So shout out to Damone Clark because plays like that has to happen. There's sometimes where you know the team may have called something good up, but then you just made that particular play to save that. See, there's a handful of plays like, damn, if they got that, this could have changed the outcome of the game. There's always like a handful of plays every single game, and that was one of them. So I got to give a shout out to Damone Clark when it come down to that, because y'all know we've been heavy on him. Y'all know we've been crucifying that, especially all the linebackers. We've been crucifying them. But as far as the level of physicality, they did their thing. Um, I want to go ahead and point out Gilmore. Gilmore done messed around. See, look, hey, one thing that we was concerned about with Gilmore was did you lose a step, right? Did you lose a step? Did you lose 2 steps? And he was competing out there. He did fine out there. He did pretty well. And that Commanders team, look, no matter what they records say, they got weapons. And your whole secondary played good against them weapons. They got weapons. Sam Howell, he a decent quarterback. And your defense held them boys to 10. Like, that's pretty good. Especially for what they had to go against. That's pretty good. We supposedly have this offensive guru and Eric Bieniemy, right? And y'all see the Washington Commanders have been pushing that ball downfield pretty much every week, and they wasn't able to do that this game. So that's pretty good, and that is a product of your upfront being more physical. That's one thing. That's the knock that we've been talking about. Your defense has been soft. Now, we do need to see it against better teams, of course, but as far as like the talent wise, the talent on the Commanders team is definitely probably better than what we've been going against. Probably what, other than Philly, the last month, as far as like the talent, right? Because they deep that wide receiver, they got a good running back, good tight end, they got decent quarterback play, right? So they have, the they have the weapons to go ahead and put pressure on you, and your defense play ball the whole game. So shout out to the defense on that. Also, let's get on this offense, right? Let's get on this offense. Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, pushing the ball downfield. One thing that we've been talking about is, this dink and dunk stuff cannot happen. Oh, this short to intermediate, that cannot happen. We need to open it up. And the Dallas Cowboys have been opening it up and definitely open it up. And you see a tremendous difference with this offense. And it's part of the reason why you're on a roll right now. Is because Mike McCarthy has opened up. And when you open it up, guess what? You had probably one of your better rushing games of the year today. Look, the Commanders, their rushing defense, they could play physical up front, and you took it to them, right? That's been one of the weak points of this offense. And you could say this offensive line was getting to the second level, being physical. No, that wasn't the case today. You see Tyler Schmidt and Biotis combo blocks, and then Tyler Schmidt peeling off to the linebacker. You see them. See, one of the things we talked about was us being able to get on the edge and attack this Commanders defense on the perimeter. And we did that the whole game. You can see that was a point of emphasis for Mike McCarthy to attack the Commanders defense on the edge. And it worked. And we had one of our better running games. We was pretty much running from start to finish. See, look, that's the type of running that I want to see from this team, right? We know that TP is more of an outside runner anyway. So we need to continue to feed him on the edge. Continue to feed. This is the type of game of offense that I would like to see from here on out. The running phase and the passing phase of this offense was clicking. Dak Prescott. I've been watching Dak Prescott. I've never missed a game of Dak Prescott in his entire career. since he came in until now. And I can tell you this, no matter what the statistics say, this is the best football that Dak Prescott has played in his whole entire career. I promise you that. This is the best football. This is the best that Dak Prescott has looked in his whole entire career. You see, quarterback play ain't all about the numbers. The numbers will take care of itself, right? You see, there was one time when the Commanders had went for it and they didn't get it. And I was like, Dak Prescott, end them. Don't give him no chance. And he threw that TD. I was like, yep. You got to be able to take advantage of your opportunities. Did he miss some throws? Yeah. Incorrect. That stuff happens, right? Now, it happened more than one occasion, but stuff happens, right? You know, even I see the best of the best miss throws. But did he bounce back? Yes, he did. And he had a tremendous game. And he is continuing this tremendous play, this fire play that he has had of late. And it's transitioning and it's coming at the right time. You want to be able to play your best ball in November and December and January. And it's coming at the right time. And Dak Prescott, even though I've been hard on him, I got to give credit where credit is due. And I got to give Dak Prescott is playing good ball. He's playing the way that we've been needing him to play. He's still using his legs, and guess what? Because he's using his legs is the reason why he's playing his best ball. And now you're starting to see it become a habit every single game, which is beautiful for this team. When we look back at everything, the answer was, is it Kellen Moore or was it Dak Prescott? Even though we already know the limitations that Dak Prescott has, we can answer confidently no matter what happens from here on out and tell you it was Kellen Moore. It was Kellen Moore not being able to get the most out of Dak Prescott, out of this offense. You could talk weapons, you could talk all that what you want, but it was Kellen Moore. One thing that we've been talking about, to go back to Cooks, is this team needs a deep threat. And you got that with Cooks, and you're using them. For half the season, we was like, man, when we gonna use Cooks? And ever since he had that game, the emphasis of getting him more involved, he's been on fire ever since. Like I said, will Cooks get damn near 200 yards every game? No. But one thing that Cooks can do is make a difference and make an impact with his speed every single game. And you see him doing that. And that's why this Dallas Cowboys team, you hear Romo, you hear other teams talking about this, they can win that type of Super Bowl, right? See, my thing is, we wasn't really the capability of this team. My thing is, can we be physical in these trenches? Right? Can my front seven on defense be physical? Can my offensive line impose their will? And if there was a play like they did today from here on out, then you could talk about that, right? The holes of our team is going to be the holes of our team. It just is what it is. Every team got a weakness, but as a coach, you're supposed to go ahead and hide them weaknesses and play to your strengths the best that you can. And if you play to your strengths, what good is it? Who cares about a weakness? And right now, the Dallas Cowboys is realizing that, hey, we're not defensively led. We're going to play to our strengths, which is being able to go ahead and impact this game offensively. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. And you see this run. It's the best that they have looked so far in this stretch under Mike McCarthy. Yeah, we've been going to the playoffs, but even last year, The defense didn't look the way that it did now. It didn't look the way that it did now. We was giving up 200 something yards a game. Now I know, like I said, it goes to the quality of teams. But when you did go ahead and see the Super Bowl runner-up, you played them down to the wire. Now, I'm not one to go ahead and give you moral victories because I don't believe in moral victories. I believe in winning or losing, and you can only do one. But you can see that that play has never wavered. And if they continue to go ahead and try to play to a standard, they're trying to set a standard, and they're coming along. And that could just only be good for this team moving forward. Probably after this play, even though I want them, I don't really see Shaq Leonard being a part of this team, or Darius Leonard, whatever the hell he want to go by. I don't really see him being a part of this team. I think they cool with what they got. So he's probably going to go, if it was just true with the two teams, it's probably going to be the Eagles. Would I like for him to be here? Yeah, but it just is what it is, right? I also want to give a shout out to Wanye Thomas. I seen him out there. From what I seen, was I paid attention to him. He was out there covering good, carrying carrying Logan Thomas. I believe it was a drag route. He was carrying him foot by foot, staying with him, and made a play. Man, we're gonna need that, and we're gonna continue to need that moving on forward. We're gonna see some decent tight ends coming up. You got Kincaid coming up. You Goddard probably be back, right? You got the Dolphins coming up. You got Laporta coming up, right? Logan Thomas again. So you see some good tight ends coming up. So it's essential that we continue to incorporate Wanye Thomas into what we got going on. It's essential. Now, I want to point this out there. I don't know if I don't think it's too much of a concern, but I do want to acknowledge the fact that, hey, Aubrey, you pretty much perfect when it come down to your field goal kicking, but back-to-back weeks you missing them easy extra points. And I know people gonna be like, oh, easy. Yeah, easy. You're paid to do that. You're paid. Now I know misses is gonna happen. He ain't gonna be perfect for his career. I understand that. But let's not make it a habit, right? Because our kicker last year was on fire, but all of a sudden he just fell off and he ain't never recovered. Now I'm not saying that's gonna be you, Aubrey, but I'm just saying sometimes things happen at the wrong time. So make sure that your misses, Aubrey, don't come at the wrong time. Make sure they don't come at the wrong time. That's all I'm gonna say in regarding that. Now, one thing to go back on Dak Prescott, one thing I like about what Dak doing is spreading the ball around. Today wasn't the day to, CD to have his 10 for 150 game. But regardless of now he did miss CD on a TD on another one. Like I said, he missed on a couple bombs, but if it ain't his game, whose game is it going to be? Who gonna step up? Right? And Ferguson, especially up them seams, them tight ends, period, up them seams the past couple weeks have been cooking. Ferguson, people, I don't know why people was talking about this tight end situation like it was a concern. Never knew it, but they're hitting their stride. J Hop, we call him J Hop over here. For those of y'all new, we call him J Hop over here. J Hop has been playing some good ball. J Hop been playing some good ball. And that's part of the reason why this team has also been hitting its stride offensively. Not only by getting Cooks involved, but getting J Hop more involved. And he's coming into his own. Now, if we can get this running game consistent, man, that's going to even be That's what I'm looking for, right? We go against a we go against a good team, good defensive team next week. So I will be looking to see how this running game looks next week, how this offense goes against that defense next week, right? No, because that matchup, just to give you a little bit early about what's going on. I know they're playing right now, and I'll be taking a look at them in a minute. But whoever gonna win that game is gonna be our offense versus their defense. That's what's gonna go ahead and determine. Now, we told you last game who gonna win. We told you the matchup for this week, and we won that matchup. And now it's gonna be our offense versus their defense next week, and that's gonna determine whether you win or lose. Right? Our defense is they're gonna continue to build on the play that they have played. Our defense should do solid against them. One, the Seahawks is not as explosive as the Commanders can be. Um, but as far as running the rock, they probably do a little bit better. But that shit, the Seahawks is gonna as the Seahawks are gonna try to beat us, they're gonna have to be physical. But we'll get it all that to coming up week. We ain't worried about that right now. But yeah, man. I just have to say, now TP, before I leave TP alone. Hey TP, you've been kind of loose with the football a little bit. Now I know you ain't been getting hit with them fumbles, but you've been kind of loose with that football a little bit. We need you to go ahead and be better and being secure with that football, TP. We don't want it to happen at the wrong time, right? We've been lucky. You fumbled in the past before when you didn't have some good hustle plays by your linemen and your tight ends. But let's not make that a reoccurring thing. Let's not do that, TP. But all in all, this is probably one of your most complete performances from offense to defense to special teams that this team has had this year. So I got to give props. You ain't gonna really hear me saying nothing too bad about this team. They're gonna probably talk about the slants that was given up. But some of that wasn't just like, some of that was part of how the defense was being played. But it ain't nothing to be concerned about. To me, it ain't. For me looking at it live, it's not nothing to be concerned about. Uh, because at the end of the day, did you score? You see, I don't care about blowouts. Did you win? It's cool that we blowing them out. That's cool. But did you win though? People talk about other teams, but did you win though? Did you find a way to win? Was it not your best and you still won? Did you execute? Did you win? That's what matters. And we've been winning. We've been putting wins together. Now we got, like I said, we got this couple game stretch up. Now that should go ahead and propel you to go ahead and get this dub and continue this winning streak. But all in all, as I said, I ain't got nothing really bad to say about this team today. The team shut me up today, y'all. I ain't gonna get picky on that third down defense, though. I ain't gonna get picky on that third down defense. You third and long and they still convert. I ain't gonna get picky. I'm gonna let them breathe today, y'all. I'm gonna let them boys breathe today. They can have that. I'm gonna let them breathe today. We ain't gonna get on them because at the end of the day, they play good. They play good, and when your offense is clicking, your defense can look the way that it's looking. And and like I said, everything, no matter what is being said or done, everything comes and goes with this offense. Your offense is on point, your defense will follow. Your offense will struggle, your defense may struggle. It shouldn't be like that, but that's just playing to our strengths. If we're gonna play with this pass rush, guess what? We gotta play from ahead. And we was able to pass rush for 2 quarters. The second half, we was able to pass rush. And you see the fruits of the offense's labor by going ahead and being in attack mode, trying to get up early, trying to get the points early. right? They also what I said was, yo, attack Sam Howell often and early, and they did that. And this was just predicated off of what you got. They even gave him a couple nice little fields because they wanted to go for an offense. Now, some of that play calling was suspect on the Commanders' end, but hey, that's your problem. That ain't my problem. We're supposed to take advantage, whether it was morning, noon, or night. We're supposed to take advantage, and the Cowboys took advantage all night. But anywho, just wanted to be brief. We chilling, man. I'm about to get back to eating, y'all. Straight up, I'm about to get back to eat. Man, y'all have a good rest of the day. Y'all don't eat too much. Nah, y'all gonna grub. Y'all gonna grub, man. But yeah, we'll be back soon to go ahead and do what we do. But anyway, man, enjoy the rest of y'all day. If y'all call it a holiday, enjoy your holiday. Whatever what y'all got going on, enjoy it. And till next time, y'all, we gone.